It's been a long postseason dry spell for the Chicago White Sox. They are one of 7 franchises among the Big Four sports leagues without a single playoff appearance in the last decade. Last appearing in 2008, the 2020 season could end the dry spell for the Sox, considering the unusual circumstances of the season. Here's how they got to this point. After years of being stuck in the middle, the Sox entered a rebuild in the 2016 offseason after trading Chris Sale to the Boston Red Sox for Yoan Moncada, Michael Kopech, Luis Basabe, and one other player. They also traded locker room cancer Adam Spanky Eaton to the Washington Nationals for Lucas Giolito, Ronaldo Lopez, and Dane Dunning. It was a pivotal year for the rebuild in which the Sox acquired 7 key pieces to their future core. On May 27th of that year, the Sox signed prize Cuban prospect Luis Robert to a contract totaling $26 million in signing bonuses. On July 13th, they traded Jose Quintana to the Crosstown Cubs for Eloy Jimenez, Dylan Cease, and 2 other players. Within 6 months, the team had acquired its core for the future. As is normal in a rebuild, the first 2 years were pretty terrible. The Sox finished 67 and 95 in 2017. 2018 is where the struggles of a rebuild came to light. Whatever bright spots occurred were instantly wiped out. That season, Yoan Moncada struggled, striking out 33% of the time. Lucas Giolito was statistically the worst pitcher in baseball, while Ronaldo Lopez had an up-and-down season. Michael Kopech made his debut and was put on the shelf with Tommy John surgery and hasn't pitched since. Luis Robert and Eloy Jimenez battled injuries, but Jimenez showed a ton of promise in the minor leagues. It seemed as if the 2018 offseason was the lowest possible point of the rebuild. They missed out on prize free agents like Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. After they missed out on Harper and Machado, the Sox were destined for another dull year of a rebuild. However, last season is when we saw some flashes of what possibly could be. Yoan Moncada drastically improved and was basically an MVP contender after switching from second to third base. He slashed .315, .367, and .548 with 25 home runs, a .141 weighted runs created plus, and a 5.7 wins above replacement. Lucas Giolito became a top 10 pitcher in baseball a year after being the worst statistical pitcher in the game. While Eloy Jimenez battled injuries, he showed a lot of flashes. In September, he hit .340, .383, .710 with 9 home runs. He finished the year with 31 home runs overall. Tim Anderson had his best season, winning his first AL batting title. In the minors, Luis Robert tore it up. His stats look like this: a .328, .376, .624 slash line, a 1001 OPS, 32 home runs, and 36 stolen bases. James McCann also became an all-star catcher, amongst many other things. The one consistent that I have failed to mention is Jose Abreu. The longtime first baseman has been with the team since 2014 and has consistently performed well throughout the tough times this franchise has faced in the last 7 years. Despite a down year for Abreu in 2018, the so-called leader of this team has been through the ringer with this team and will hopefully get rewarded this year. The 2020 season could be the first time Abreu has played a postseason game for this team. In the offseason, the White Sox bolstered their roster, signing all-star catcher Yasmani Grandal, former Cy Young Award winner Dallas Keuchel, and consistent slugger Edwin Encarnacion in free agency. Keuchel is a veteran addition to the young pitching staff who can provide quality experience. Grandal is the best free agent the White Sox have signed in years and possibly their history. They gave him the highest contract in team history. He provides solid offense and outstanding pitch framing behind the plate. Edwin Encarnacion could be the Nelson Cruz of this team and provide consistency at DH, something this team has missed for the better part of a decade. And he's hit 30 or more home runs in the last 8 seasons, which will fit very well in a hitter's park like Guaranteed Rate Field. Other new faces include Nomar Mazara, an unproven but high-ceiling player with a monster bat in right field. I think that his bat and his power can fit very well in a hitter's park like Guaranteed Rate Field. Heading into 2020, the Sox are primed to begin their contention window. I feel like this team is more equipped to be like the 2017 Brewers than the 2015 Cubs, but in a 60-game season, it will work out just fine. The pitching staff looks really good. I'm expecting a breakout year from Dylan Cease. He showed flashes of his high ceiling last September, and Lucas Giolito might not be as good as he was last year. but he'll still be a top-tier pitcher in my opinion. The pitching rotation looks like this: Lucas Giolito, Dallas Keuchel, Dylan Cease, Carlos Rodon, who is coming back from Tommy John surgery, and Ronaldo Lopez. One part of this team that is not talked about when it comes to this team is the bullpen. They had a solid pen last year, and most of them are returning. Alex Colomé was 4th in the AL with 30 saves and 33 attempts. Jimmy Cordero and Evan Marshall pitched very well last year, and Aaron Bummer will look to build off his breakout year after posting a 2.13 ERA in 58 appearances. Joining the bullpen this year is Steve Cishek, who came over from the Northside Cubs. I expect Cishek to be much better on the south side because I doubt Rick Renteria will overwork him like Joe Madden did. If Kelvin Herrera could bounce back after a bad year last year, then this bullpen will be just fine if you ask me. On the managerial side, I think this is a huge test for Ricky Renteria. Throughout the majority of his managerial career, or the whole managerial career, he has been stuck with atrocious team. This is the first playoff caliber team he has ever gotten in his career, but in and of itself, it is also a very challenging and obscure season, probably the most in recent memory. If he can navigate this strange season towards a division title, then I will feel good about him going forward, but I still consider it to be a matter of when he will be dumped for a better managerial option, say, like he was dumped for Joe Madden. Like I said earlier, I do think a 60-game season is a good advantage for this team. If the season were 162 games like normal, then I wouldn't be so bullish on the possibility of playoff contention. I do think the first full year of World Series contention starts next year, but this season banks on the further development of their future stars. Looking up and down the lineup, this team is very stacked for the future. I'm not only expecting a breakout from Dylan Cease, but from Eloy Jimenez as well. If Eloy can set the tone as a middle-of-the-lineup power bat, then I think this team is going places. Eloy is more likely to break out this year than Luis Robert in my opinion, because it might take some time before he gets acclimated to the major leagues. If the bullpen can maintain the level they played at last year, then we can truly feel good about the upcoming season, since this season is going to be defined by the bullpen, and this is a league-wide trend. So for my record prediction, I say the Sox will finish 33-27, which I think will be good enough to win the AL Central. However, I think they will be bounced in the ALDS by the Houston Astros, sorry about that, but the season will be good enough to end the decade-plus playoff drought. This season is going to be the warm-up to a championship window that I think is fast approaching. All I can say is we should really enjoy this, because nobody knows what is coming, especially those in the national media. Shout out to ESPN. This is going to be a fun season and a very fun team to watch, and I am so excited to watch this. And once again, that does it for another video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends and family if you want. Until next time, have a good one, and take care.
Starting in 2020, in my opinion, there's a chance that it'll be the greatest decade of Major League Baseball in Chicago history, because the Cubs are good and they're not going anywhere. You know, it's going to be fun to watch us kick their ass.
And that's coming up.
Yeah.
You're not going to miss going to Wrigley Field, are you?
You couldn't give me a $5,000-$10,000 bill to put another foot in that place. That is, I'm telling you what, that place sucks.
Let's go, 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 White Sox, Chicago.